welcome to another horrific review. Apologies before I even begin. I've still got this stupid bloody cough, and my nose is bunged up. I think it's like one of them weird summer colds that you get, and yeah, gotta carry on with the show. You know how it is. So apologies for the poor quality of me for a start, because I'd rather wait till I'm like in better health before doing these things, but also at the same time, gotta carry on. Can't let things like that stop you. You don't get up or not go to work because you've got a wee bit of a head cold. Anyway, on to the movie. So I've actually got the day off tomorrow, so I thought let's watch a movie, let's review it. You know me, I'm normally in bed by this time because I'm an old fart, but what I do is, as you well know with this show, I add a bunch of stuff to my watch lists, and then eventually I get around to watching them. So here we go. Oh, comments already. Hasn't they, Chris? The show has to go on. Yeah, it's not. I'm not feeling bad, just more annoying because I'm bunged up and I'm coughing. Like if you saw my stream last night, I'm coughing like a random places. It's just like, come on, dude, I don't need this. I just want to be able to talk, get my point across, hopefully provide a little smidgen of entertainment. You know how it goes, and then go to bed, sleep, get up the next day, do it all over again. Anyway, right. So this one randomly added to it's from Shutter. Added to a collection. Oh god, I was trying to find the name of the movie. So the comparison I can make for this is definitely The Witch. Definitely got The Witch vibes, but there's another movie that God's sake. It has a blind girl, and these people live in a commune, cut off from society. Let's see. Oh. Here's the problem, though. If you put horror movie, you could make up anything, right? If you put horror movie and blah blah blah, there's 20 movies made about it. That's just the reality of the horror genre. And I don't think people fully understand that this genre has the greatest imagination, the greatest expanding universe. It will tackle anything. It will go to the corners of the earth. In fact, the horror genre will look for the most obscure tribe living on the top of the hill and go, aha, that's going to be my story because nobody else has heard of this yet. Yay! And that's kind of the attitude. Oh, God damn it. That's not. No. No, 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 no. What I'll do? Oh God, right? There's freaking millions, right? I'm not even try. Like I said, I've tried before, didn't work. But there's a particular movie I'm thinking of. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the comments afterwards if I find it. It's actually quite famous at the time. Basically, the premise. I know, first tangent, not even started, but we all know The Witch. I've reviewed it. We've talked about it. It's like an all-time classic now by Robert Eggers. That's like the epitome of storytelling and horror. You just got one of the movies. It's just an absolute classic, and it'll be very rare you get a slice again. Just one of them type. This other one was about a commune, and the main protagonist is blind. There's somebody killing. There's like a costume that was the boogeyman basically of this. The Village. Was it The Village? Is that what it was called? Oh, it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. No wonder what. Yep, yep, The Village. M. Night Shyamalan. It was his one. So that was people living like in, they just reverted to a certain period, and they had a walled complex because the millionaires said they were going to live a lifestyle. Excuse me. I did mention I'm sick and tired at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, understand this is why this is happening. Yeah, but the kids, obviously the next generation down, don't understand why everything is the way it is. This is similar. So it's taken notes from the witch, and it's taken notes from the village. And it's a good drama. Let's put it like this. It's not horror. It's not a full on like there's no jump scares or anything. This is character driven. Yeah, character driven more than story because the story's a bit ambiguous, if that makes sense. And a lot of sort of thematic scenes stitched together to make a movie. Now, it might sound like I'm being critical, but I did actually enjoy this. Like, it was an enjoyable watch. And you get the idea of something that's close to my heart, by the way. If you are the other, and it's more prevalent to say sadly, but it's part of the human condition. We just happen to be going through this. It seems to be cyclic. That if you're not, the mob gets energized and communities form, and if you're not part of that, if you don't toe the line, then you are the other. Therefore, as I'm not bored doing this, by the way. I'm not bored. I'm just bloody tired and sick. Sorry. I'm like, I'm trying to give her a review here. All I want to do is go to bed. Like, yeah. But uh it's all that premise, and it's linked to like the witch trials, and if somebody's accused of witchcraft, how the mob can come after you, and it's that fear. And that's the whole premise of this movie. It's a mother's trying to protect her daughter who's just kept secret, but she's also like we'll see this early on, like the first, so it's not really spoilers. We'll see this early on. She's part of a witch's coven, and which I find a bit strange that there's a witch's coven, but she's living isolated on the edge of a community where everything else is suffered by blight except her. So straight away there's a light shining on her, as in something alright with you. Which the villagers kind of, why are your crops successful and ours aren't? And this is the whole idea of the why people got accused of witchcraft. That just people are considerate and lovely and loving and caring when they're fat and happy. That's the basic premise of it. When you are comfortable and you've got everything you need, yes, you can be caring, you can be loving, you can be considerate, you can be blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. Once life gets hard, then you see the other side. Then you see the true human animal come out. The vicious, the herd stampeding, the cannibalistic, you name it. Um, Once the creature comforts go, and once desperation sets in, that's when people will eat each other. The worst thing to do is deny that that's what we're about. To embrace and understand that, means that you don't get as upset by the stupidity that permeates the world on a daily basis. What you do though is you become hyper vigilant for when that dynamic changes. And that's an act of self preservation. When you know that the dynamic's going to change and the mob's going to come for you, you're very careful, protective, and you know when to bug out. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because that's essentially the premise of this story. Oh, by the way, it also goes by the name of The Ballad of Audrey Hermshaw. So this is what bugs me about. I've noticed a lot, especially independent movies. They get released under about three or four different titles, be it working title, studio changes it, etc., and they don't tie up all their advertising. So they'll have, like, for example, this particular movie, to find it on IMDb, is The Ballad of Audrey Earnshaw, sorry. To find it on other platforms is that there's also a third title somewhere. And this is where these things get messy. And that's why I've always been a proponent of get your admin sorted. If you're going to be a content creator, you got to do your admin. By the way, one of my old videos is going to probably pop up in the next couple of weeks, all about that. Because, I don't know, there's so many people come on this, like, I'm an artist. Bah, I'm an artist. I'm Flaky McFlake. I'm they can't organize a piss up in a brewery. And if you can't organize a piss up in a brewery, you can't be a independent content creator, because you got to do all this crap yourself. You got to learn about algorithms and platforms and tags and video editing and audio editing and all that good stuff. It's all on you. And if you don't raise your game, it just falls flat. But that's a little tangent. We love our little tangents, don't we? So that's just a wee one for you. But that's just an example of get your admin sorted. Have the one title of the movie. And also if you're going to change the title, do a wee Google search, and if you're picking something that's got 100 titles of the same name, maybe don't do that. There's the potential for this movie to have a unique title and presence out there, but the one with The Blood Harvest, which if you type in The Blood Harvest, there's 50 gazillion variations. Sorry, I know I'm not getting this right. I'm just saying that is such a waste. Such a waste of time and effort. But there you go. Anyway, back to the story. So the whole thing I'm talking about the herd and the potential of the mob coming for you. This is Agatha. It's essentially Agatha and Audrey. Agatha, she's the mother. She's isolated. She's on the edge of this community, which is a wee thing I can't get my head wrapped around. Because this community decided to live apart, and there's a whole scroll at the start of times and dates. So this is essentially, I think it's like before the 1960s. They're living like the Amish. It's that sort of thing. That's why I made the comparison to the village. They're effectively a pseudo Amish community, but they make a thing about them being like there's one of the titles said a Protestant what is it, settlers in America that moved to, they live in North America. And then there's another that they're break away from the Church of Ireland living in North America. And you're like, dude, what? That means nothing. In terms of narrative storytelling, what does that actually mean? What are you trying to do here? What's the audience you're aiming for? I think that's the outside of this movie's worse than the inside. Maybe why it's not too well known, because the marketing is shambolic. The details of this movie is shambolic. It's I don't know what, because this is actually a gripping drama. It's a drama with a bit of supernatural / magical horror sprinkled over the top. And I'd say it was very good. I enjoyed this movie, if I'm honest. I was on board with the characters. I got where Agatha was coming from. I got where Audrey was coming from. And then I got where the villagers were coming from as each interaction took place. What I don't get is why there's every opportunity for them not to be in the situation they're in, i.e., the villagers. And there's one particular scene, well, there's two, but one particular scene part of the way through the movie, because you could be fooled into thinking that this is a period drama. It is done so well in terms of costumes and the living abodes and all that kind of stuff. It's, that's why I draw comparisons to The Witch. It's that sort of period. And it's done so well that you kind of get immersed. And you forget until part the way through the movie a plane, and it's only a biplane, it's post Second World War biplane, flies overhead, and they kind of look at it in terror, sort of, that sort of thing. It's only that moment in all of this movie, and this is about 2/3 of the way through it. You see the biplane, and you realize that they're actually choosing to live their lifestyle. Now, the whole premise of the story is they're basically they're hit by blight, and they're Irish. They're like I said, they're breakoffs from the Irish settlers. Oh my god, they've got the. It's funny they've all got like Irish Catholic names, yet it's supposed to be a Protestant village. Just saying. Oh, by the way, America. The reason you have the term hillbillies is that's where the Ulster settlers arrived. Because like the Irish settler, the Irish, the name is like Paddy, the Ulster's Billy, same way as Scotland's Jock, and English is cunt. I know, just having a laugh. No, the biggest problem with England is it's not England. England is a formation of about 9 different separate kingdoms to form the state of England. If you go back to the history, that's why they don't have that uni identity, and it's why it's a bit tricky because each king, like Mercia, oh God, sorry, the Mercians are the ones that stick out, but each has their own individual flavor. The Cornish and that, so there's no generic English term. Sorry, England, it's true. Whereas I think the rest of us all inbred enough, to do this. But this is, it's not offensive plastic patty, if that makes sense. And it's not like the actors have done a decent job. Just have the, there's a mixture of regional accents, which is fair enough. You get that kind of atmosphere anyway. They're settlers. The funny thing is, I will share a video. I will send you a video, but Great Britain is the island. So Great Britain, it comes from believe it or not, it was actually named by the Romans because there was Great Britain and Hibernia. So it was Great Britain, Little Britain, Britannia. That's with the way I saw it. So Great Britain is essentially England, Scotland, Wales. You've got the island of Ireland, which is Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic. But you've also got about 30 individual islands, which is part of the British Isles. I will show you that link. It's fascinating, just even that in itself. The British Isles, we have the most unique for a small landmass. Like if you look at the world map, we're a blip. We are a pinprint. But yet we have the most diverse range of kingdoms. I mean, before the current monarchy, if you look at the current British monarchy, it's evolved from 20 different monarchies in the British Isles. But you're talking about kingdoms, dialects, languages, because everyone expects you to everyone expects received pronunciation when you come here, as in BBC type language. That's what you'll expect. They don't realize that there's 40 different dialects in this little group of islands. And we're a weird mix. It really is. And you can travel 10 miles and be in a different country. That's the unique aspect of this. You can travel like 10 miles, and people speak differently, different language, different customs, and then move on to the next area and it's completely different again. That's what makes us us. Yeah. But these are, like I said, I don't know what they're trying to build. It seems like they wanted to tell a story, but they didn't know how to set it up, if that makes sense. They didn't want them to be Puritans. I think that's what it is. They're trying to make it unique. They didn't want them to be straight out Puritans or Quakers. And they were struggling to find something to make this unique. But I don't know. It didn't need it. But what they've done here is they've messed up their advertising. That's why I'm saying the description of this movie is shambolic, because you look at three different platforms. We've got three different titles, three different premises, but it's the same story. So unnecessary. This is why marketing departments need somebody to hold the reins over them. That's why there needs to be a balance between the creative and the marketers, that kind of stuff. It's if you let the creative run on their own without reining in, if you let the marketing run their own without reining in, you end up with this mess. But anyway, so essentially what you've got this pious village that's decided to cut itself off from the rest of the world. Hence the village comparisons. And it all is, they've been hit with this blight. Now, we don't get an explanation why the blight happened. It just happens. But the main thing is that Agatha Earnshaw, she's not affected by it. Her crops are thriving. And she's essentially fat and happy, although doesn't look fat and happy, but you know what I mean. She's doing all right. And everyone else is suffering. So straight away, there's where the mob mentality starts to fester and brew, when there's desperation, where people are struggling. So it's going on. We meet Audrey, and she's got this thing where she takes her to meet the others. And this is where we find out she's part of a coven of witches. Now, they spent a lot of time in the drama of this. I wish they had spent a bit more time on the coven of witches. There was an interesting story, how they came to be. And for example, why is Agatha on her own on the fringes of this, like, religious zealot, borderline zealot community, stroke cult. You know, why is she in that position, right in the edge of them, where she's in danger, when there's the rest of the coven, a powerful coven, by the way, they're not weak, within traveling distance. Why aren't they together, walled off, powerful, safe, and secure? We don't get any of that answered, which I think is a complete shame because there was the real guts of an interesting story, and it's kind of glossed over. But so be it. This all kicks off when Agatha. Sorry, I was looking at her character's name. Agatha's heading to the others, and basically, what it is, her daughter jumps into a crate, closes the crate over it, and hides her. For some reason, her having a daughter had to be hidden, and we don't get an explanation why. Which is a bit weird. This is just over. It's 1 hour 36. Oh, sorry, apologies for that. Like I said, I'm starting to flake a wee bit. Just over the hour and a half mark. So there is enough time to tell that story, because what they did focus on, and I know that we want to see the horror, we want to see the light, we want to see the desperation, but I think they focused a wee bit too much on that and not the actual interesting story, which is the bones of this movie. But Audrey, she's compliant, she hides in the cart, and she's going past, and it turns out we meet Colin and his family, and they're burying their son, and she just happens to be going past as the funeral finishes, and this prompts Colin to get in their face, start arguing with her, and then he slaps her across the face. She is in the mode of, I'm here to protect my daughter. So she takes it, she doesn't retaliate, she doesn't want to escalate. And it's their reverend, who is it Burke? Their reverend anyway steps in, disperses the crowd, tells them to, calm down a bit. And then they move on. But this is what sparks off Audrey. She's like, you just took that. You didn't fight back. You didn't do this. And she's 17 at this point, so she's a teenager. One of them creatures that hate the world, hate everything, hate you. Their hormones are just going. And she's also maybe a supernatural creature, so that doesn't help either. But this sparks her off. They're like, why did you do that? Why didn't you fight back? And she's like, I'm protecting you. There's a crowd. And this whole conversation starts, but she's like having none of it. So she starts to become active. So she visits Colin, messes with him, starts visiting other people in the night, and then laying curses upon them. And we see a bit of the sort of ritual, when she finishes off her journey, there's a bit of a ritual takes place, and we don't get an explanation what it is. I think that's a bit that's missing in this whole movie. There's a whole supernatural witchcraft group, and they are organized and have purpose. So if they're organized and have purpose, let's get to know about them. That's the interesting part. But they completely disregard, after the first scene, they completely disregard them. And then we go to Order, throwing basically her tantrum for half of the movie, which would be annoying in other respects, but this is well acted. So it's well acted. The scenes are quite tense, so it works. So you can kind of live with it. But I don't know. I enjoyed the movie, but I'm also really frustrated by it. Is this a sign of I wanted more because they'd laid out a good plot, or do I think something's missing? That's something I have to reconcile with. It's and especially when I'm reviewing a movie, I don't want to, I don't want to pan it unnecessarily. My frustrations are that I wanted more of a certain aspect, and they didn't give me that, but give me more of the thing where maybe it could have been dialed down a bit. We got the idea. So I'm now thinking with the name changes of the title and the descriptions that there was a whole other movie out there, and they decided to make it generic to please the mass audience. That's kind of my thoughts on that. There's somewhere interfered that went, nah, yeah, you're telling us, but we need people to recognize what it is. So we need scary witch woman causing havoc in a past town. We needed to fit in that narrative where there was actually a deeper story here and a more interesting one, and they didn't tell it. So, take of that what you will. I still reasonably, like I said, I wasn't like sitting going, "Oh, when's this going to end?" I was enjoying the movie. um, so much so it has completely tired me out. Now that I'm on a stream, it sort of progresses. She starts messing with people. They start, their livestock start. It's a typical Salem witch trial. Livestock starts dying. Uh, one of the women become pregnant. A husband poisons his family. It all just start getting messed with. And then the main Burke, the priest, or sorry, the reverend, because I don't know, they said they were a break off from the Church of Ireland, which is sort of half Protestant, half Roman Catholic. It's sort of a weird mix in between. And they weren't doing any of the like papist iconography, so just like plain crosses and stuff. So I don't know what denomination they're trying to be, which is weird because that's the problem when you become generic. It means nothing. Where if you there's the idea. If this is a particular denomination, focus on that and what its strengths are, what its weaknesses are, and use that as your storytelling. The witches' coven. What are their strengths and weaknesses? What are their beliefs? What are their limitations? As in, what conditions do they need to perform the ritual for their end goals to happen? None of that's explained. So you don't get the battle. It's like you've got a basically an overpowered teenager on a temper tantrum fighting back, even though she's in a loving relationship with her mother, and her mother's explained to her, "Here, I'm trying to protect you because you're for greater things than me. I would don't want the mob coming after us with their torches and pitchforks." But that kind of goes out the window. So things progress, and then Agatha says she's going to meet the others, and we see her down this path, and she's got a lantern. Then the others appear, and one of my others is the other witches, because I don't want you confusing it with the Cole Kidman movie, which I might do sometime. Let me know if you want me to do that movie, because that's an interesting one from a storytelling perspective. But yeah, she gets captured and accused of running away, which is weird, considering in fact she's prepared to put herself in harm's way to conceal her daughter's existence. Which we don't understand why that's a thing anyway, but hey ho. Yeah, you know what I mean. Teenagers are psychopaths. Their hormones are kicking in, and they just completely override their empathetic regions of the brain. Hence why they hate everything and they hate you and blah blah blah. It's just one of those, uh, just part of nature. Um, Yeah, that part I didn't get. I can get her being aggrieved. Here's the thing: I can get her being aggrieved by what her mother's doing to protect her, and her deciding to take revenge and doing it in secret and getting caught. What I don't get is the open hostility towards her mother, because she called her mother weak for taking a punch, and as someone who's been in one or two fights at a time and done a bit of martial arts, the strength is being able to take a punch. It's the same as somebody who gives it that. The old saying of they can dish it, but they can't take it. The strength is those that can take it and then stand up and give back. It's easy to throw a punch. It's easy to bully, but it's when it comes back to you, that's the true strength of can you take it. That's you can every military test, every test of endurance, every test of faith, if you want to bring it this, it's how much can you take it without breaking your resolve. And that's the strength of character. So I don't understand why the Audrey character has this resentment towards her mother, showing strength of character of she will get the absolute pan knocked out of her in front of a crowd rather than give up her daughter's secret. Her daughter wasn't a prisoner. There's just a couple of scenes where she locks her in a cupboard, but her daughter can open it from the inside, so it's to look like it's locked from the outside, so nothing there. Um, Once again, we don't get that explained why. Yeah, this is the feeling part of the movie. It's that kind of plot that doesn't quite work, but things escalate, and like I said, Agatha then says she's heading, but then they accuse her of escaping. They capture her, they put a hood over her, they drag her back, and this whole thing culminates. And then she's basically the traitor. I didn't get that part of the story. This is where it all falls apart for me. Agatha, who has been stoic and resolute in her duties towards her daughter and the coven, like she has warned her daughter about this. She has been faithful, but there's another one that decided that, oh yeah, you gotta hit back. That little snake in the grass who doesn't have the responsibility but wants the power. So maybe there's a bit of internal politics, but because we don't see enough of the coven, we don't get that vibe of somebody vying for, jealous of Agatha's position in this point. We don't get enough. We don't get any of it, to be honest, to form that resolution. So therefore, that whole plot aspect is wasted. But yeah, I'm kind of talking myself out of this. Maybe, like I said, I did enjoy it. Now I'm thinking maybe I didn't. No, I did enjoy it, but I was frustrated because there's so much. It's once again there's a good story let out, and they don't utilize it, and I wonder who held them back. And I think that's my question. They had something unique here, and you can kind of see by the marketing and all that stuff that there's somebody's interfered and held it back from what it could have been. But there you go. Yeah, it does its thing because even the end of it, I don't get the. We'll see somebody. It might have been Audra. There's like a pickup truck appears on the edge. That's why I draw the comparison to the village. And somebody's getting inside it. It might have been Audra, but it was so far away, we don't really get it. And we don't get the significance of it either. And then it kind of just fades into nothingness. Shit, I didn't like this movie. Now I think about it, it's like, the more I think about it, yeah, I'm just annoyed because there's the premise of a really good movie here. In fact, there's a premise of a great movie here, and they just flushed it down the drain with a lot of time wasting generic stuff and not actually focusing on the important aspects of the plot. that could have expanded this, made it unique. Yeah. I'll leave it there. I'm kind of confused about it. Yeah. I I enjoyed going through it, but now I think about it, yeah, it's a bit of a confusing mess that didn't need to happen. There you go. Anyway, there's my review. The link's in the description, so feel free to check out the movie yourself. I'm interested in to know what you think about it. Let me know if you watch this and you get something different from me. Please tell me. Um, be interested to have the discussion. Like I said, I've come in with one mindset, and then by the time we've talked through the plot, I've got another one, and that's what happens. Name of the game. Yeah, there's uh sorry, lost my train of thought there. God, I need to go to bed. Yeah, there's something there that's annoying me, as you can probably tell. I can't quite put my finger on it, and it's spoiled the potential of an actual really great classic movie because all the elements are there. They're just not put together right, if that makes sense. But the only way you'll understand what I'm talking about is to watch a movie yourself and then jump in the comments and let me know. Because that's the whole point of these reviews as well. I'm coming in like minutes sometimes after watching a movie to try and give you my thoughts. What I'm trying to do is get your thoughts in return so we can have a discussion and then see what we think. And sometimes if it's worth a revisit, fair enough. But this is how we find out what we like and don't like and find out movies, and then creators can take tips and hints. This is not the toxic fan nonsense, but an actual genuinely invested audience. This is what I'm trying to build with this channel. People are interested in this genre and the movies. Let's have a talk. Let's get together and let's come up with, you know, a reasonable explanation why we like or dislike either the entire movie or aspects of the movie. Because that can only help future creators. And then we'll actually get the stuff we want. But there you go. Tomorrow night I am on Dragonlance Saga's channel. My dwarf survived miraculously, so I'm now gonna have lemming syndrome. I'm gonna throw myself off cliffs. Like, yeah, I can survive everything. Boink. You um, Commander Reorx has preserved me, so I'll be like even fuller of religious fervor and trying to convert people. After the last session, so this should be interesting. Sunday, do I have anything planned for Sunday? I don't have anything planned for Sunday, so I might jump on. Stuff planned for the following week. Yeah, but that's what I do. I'm not here coming in with oh, this is my position. I like this movie, and if you don't like it, you're an alt right, estophobic, blah blah blah. That kind of nonsense. I'm I'm partially going over the plot, but I'm also coalescing my thoughts as I do it. And it's not the first time this has happened where I've either disliked the movie and then liked it, or vice versa. Because that's what you do. You can have your initial reaction, but as you think through the plot, your opinion can change. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't devalue your opinion. I want to get away from this. The audience I don't want on this channel is that, well, if I like it, you're an evil person, or if you don't like it, you're an evil person, or if you do, blah blah blah. If I hate this movie and you like it, I hate you. I don't want those sort of idiots anywhere near me. I want the discerning audience. We want to just talk about the art and the movie, and if you, as I always say, if you like something, get the reasons why. If you dislike something, get the reasons why. That way, you've got a logical argument, and it only helps to improve creativity. I have surprisingly enough had creators who have told me that they've changed their format due to reviews I've given. That's quite a frightening responsibility, if I'm honest. If somebody's going into post-production and I've given an opinion and they're like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, I'm going to change that. And I'm like, oh dear. Oh, that's I didn't mean you to take that literally, as in it's only just what I think. I'm just one person at the end of the day. That's kind of scary. And I don't want to be one of those idiots with an ego that going, oh, I'm so powerful, I will say, and stuff that. We want to make art better. We want to make horror better. We want to keep, continuous improvement. Kaizen. We want to continually move up because horror is the last pure genre out there of creativity, and that's always embraced ideas and cultures and you name it. Like I said, you can type in anything and there's been 20 horror movies made about it. You can't say that about any other genre. They're locked into their little bubbles. So let's work together in the improving art. We don't need to be nasty about it. Except for Beaster Bunny. Fuck that movie. You know what I mean? But there you go. Anyway, going to sign off because I'm going to end up waffling now because I'm actually having a brief stint between coughing fits. But keep up with the other channel, do the typey clicky things, and until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.